Well, now at 6, the rap sheet of a new London police officer facing domestic violence charges continues to grow. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bureau. Julio Gil Martinez was arrested on Wednesday, the 4th time in the last 5 months. He was also arrested on March 17th and in January for violating a restraining order that his ex-girlfriend has against him. The first arrest happened last November in connection to a domestic violence incident.
Gil Martinez has been on administrative leave from the New London Police Department. Police Chief Brian Wright released a statement on the recent arrest, and he said, quote, "The situation is a tragedy that impacts not only those directly involved, but also our entire community," end quote.
The case is just one of many domestic violence-related incidents in our state, and Fox 61's Alicia Hercules spoke with an advocate about the resources available for victims.
What can someone do when they're dealing with someone who constantly violates protective orders related to domestic violence? An advocate says it's important to keep an eye out for the red flags and do not wait to report an incident.
These are unfortunately not as uncommon as we want them to be.
Attorney James Bergen says that incidents involving repeated domestic violence offenses are scary. But in the case of New London officer Julio Gil Martinez, Bergen finds the case even more disturbing.
And when you have a police officer charged with the opposite of keeping the peace, it's disturbing. And then when you have a series, it raises so many questions.
What can a victim of domestic violence do if they find themselves in a situation where a partner is constantly violating protection agreements? Megan Scanlon, the CEO of the Connecticut Coalition Against Domestic Violence, says that noticing and reporting the red flags is key in these situations.
Anytime that we have somebody that it has a pattern of behavior where they're going to violate a restraining order or protective order that's in place, we as advocates consider that a red flag.
Scanlon says that someone exhibiting this pattern of behavior increases the threat level that a victim is facing regarding their safety. Scanlon says it's important to know all the legal protections that a victim can obtain, like a civil restraining order or a criminal protective order, which can be enforced by law, especially if they're dealing with a violent or repeat offender.
Those are both pieces of paper that can be enforced through the judicial system. So they should have no reservation about enlisting law enforcement and calling them so that they can enforce those orders.
For any victim of domestic violence uncomfortable contacting law enforcement to report abuse, Scanlon says they can contact CT Safe Connect, Connecticut's statewide domestic violence resource line, to speak to an advocate. In Hartford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Thank you, Alicia. Now, if you or someone you know is experiencing a domestic violence situation, there are resources out there to help. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline or Connecticut Safe Connect Hotline 24/7. Their phone numbers are here on your screen.